tables on the USA, and that's why we expect a good race this evening.
So a World Championship medal for Team USA, an Olympic medal for Poland, and we see it for the third time on a global scale. Later tonight, you will see Alison Felix run in the only final on-track we have for you tonight in that mixed 4x400. Right now, let's get back to women's 1500, and Cara, Faith Kipyegon is just a tremendous competitor, and she comes here as the Tokyo gold medalist.
Kipyegon is literally, quite possibly, the best female to ever do this event. You know, she won the World Championship 2017, second in 2019, two-time Olympic gold medalist. She runs with confidence. She knows how to squeeze those final laps and run away from everyone.
Team USA's Ellie St. Pierre.
St. Pierre dominated the U.S. Olympic trials here last year, running so fast, wire to wire, under 4 minutes. Earlier this year, she won a silver medal at the Indoor World Championships in the 3,000 meters. Her season's been a little bumpy. She had COVID. She had a little up and down. She had to really fight to make this team. In the final 50 meters at USA is where she finished third.
Maybe not looking as crisp as she did in the lead up to Tokyo, but we'll see what happens here in these World Championships. The first ever on US soil. Just saw a quick shot there of Jessica Hull. There is Canada's Hawthorne. And again, same rules apply. First six automatically go to tomorrow night's semi-final. Second heat of the women's 1500 is away. And Ellie St. Pierre looks like she might want to be up the front right from the get-go.
You know, it's tough. They come off that line and then they immediately, 100 meters later, go into a turn. So they want to make sure they don't get bad positioning by going out too slow, but they also don't want to go so fast that they find themselves in the lead and all of a sudden they have to dictate the race. So there's a lot of strategy coming off that line.
Tanaka of Japan takes that early lead. There is Faith Kipyegon moving up into second.
And Tanaka had a heck of an Olympic Games being in Tokyo, in Japan, in her home country. She set her national record in the semifinals, running under 4 minutes. And it was just incredible to watch her last year. With each round, she got better and better. And she's decided she's going to take this. She wants a clean race. She wants a quick race. And she's decided she's going to lead this heat.
Hull in third, just behind Kipyegon. And then Ellie St. Pierre, Jamaica's Tracy, now moves into that top five.
So this heat is quite a bit faster than the first heat. That was 64.7, which is just a little over 4 minute pace, probably 4:02 pace. And so this is quicker. And it's so great to see Kipyegon. You know, she's running close to a 4 minute pace for the 1500, and she just looks like she's jogging. She's almost like chopping her stride. And that's just tells you how good she is. And in third place, Jessica Hull, she went to the University of Oregon. This is home for her. She knows so many people here. She trains in Oregon. So what a treat for her to be here. She made the final in Tokyo. She is the Australian record holder, and she is super excited to be able to run here in Oregon in front of her friends and family.
Yeah, the Aussie record holder, not only in the 1500, but the 3000 and 5000 as well. There she is in the bright green and gold, just on the outside of Ellie St. Pierre.
St. Pierre, looks like she just stumbled a little, but she wants to just ride that rail and get pulled through. It looks like she's just trying to be as relaxed as possible. Again, we've talked about they have multiple rounds in the 1500. Just get through, just need to be top 6. But you don't want to get too bunched in, because then when the kicking starts, you can get boxed out.
So the 22-year-old Nozomi Tanaka of Japan, who ran at her home Olympics last year, she finished 8th in the final. That was a career high point. As Kipyegon and Hull go to the front, Mexico's Galvan is on the outside there. You see all in red. And there's Perez. That is Marta Perez of Spain. Galvan has just dropped back a couple of positions. Ellie St. Pierre in good position. Hailu of Ethiopia is on the outside. And they know that they're coming to the bell lap. You've got to be in that top 6 if you want to automatically qualify for tomorrow night's semi-final.
And Hailu is a part of that really, really strong Ethiopian team where they are hoping to come in here and put multiple women on the podium here. And she moves herself front now. But we're going to start to see some kicking here, Lee, because they're just too close together. There are too many women together at this point, and they're very bunched, which makes me nervous. We've got to see someone really take it now and string it out, and it looks like that's going to be Faith Kipyegon.
Adele Tracy of Jamaica trying to hang on there. You see her grimacing a little bit. The pace has picked up on this final lap. Ellie St. Pierre of Team USA hanging tough. Sits in fourth at the moment. Behind Hailu of Ethiopia and Jessica Harlan Kipyegon of Kenya.
And now we see St. Pierre that we're used to seeing. She's moving here now. She moved into third. She just needs to protect the top six, get through as cleanly and effortlessly as possible.
Faith Kipyegon, the 28-year-old of Kenya, leads the way. Then Jessica Hull, Hailu. Ellie St. Pierre's going to have to dig here because there's some late runners. There's some late challengers for this top six. Ellie St. Pierre will get there, qualifying fourth, goes through to tomorrow night's semi-final. But this second heat won by Faith Kipyegon.
You know, it's almost deceiving when she goes to the front because she looks relaxed. She doesn't look like she's pressing, but she's definitely tightening those screws and really taking control of the race. And you start to see it on the faces of the women around her, not on her.
4:04.53, the time for Faith Kipyegon. She was the world champ 5 years ago. There's Ellie St. Pierre of Team USA. She's through. We'll see her in the semi-final tomorrow night. But that was a tough final lap, Kara.
It really was, and it was set up that way because they dragged on their second lap. But as they came down here, people had to go to the arms. They had to sprint. We saw St. Pierre really have to kick here to get through. The only person who's slowing down and relaxing is Faith Kipyegon. She looks over her shoulder and sees that she doesn't need to do any more work, and she actually kind of slowed down. But everyone else had to fight all the way through that line. We see Jessica Hull there, and she trains with Sinclair Johnson from the U.S., so they are teammates, and they're both through to the next round.
Really strong finish from Hannah Klein as well of Germany. You see her on the left there, just behind Ethiopia's Hailu, and Tanaka of Japan. Here's Ellie St. Pierre's reaction. Whew. Had to dig a little bit on that one, but I'm through.
She's through. She got the job done. Maybe not as easy as she wanted, but she's through.
So, 2 heats in the women's 1500
height of the day, 14.9. Entering the competition, the reigning world indoor champion, Sandy Morris.
Undefeated on the season, and that's how you want to start the competition right there. She's been sitting there at the back of the runway for about 45 minutes, and that's all you're looking for. It doesn't matter what happens as long as the bar stays up. You can see her shaking the dirt off, getting ready for the next bar. Lee?
Thanks, fellas. We'll continue to watch that with a lot of interest as we bring you the third and final heat of the women's 1500 metres here at Hayward Field. And one of the favourites not only in this heat but for the World Championship is Ethiopia's Gudaf Sagai.
Sagai is so talentedly over multiple distances. She was the bronze medalist in Tokyo last year, but the 1500 is where she has really shined. She's the only woman to break 355 indoors. She has a world record at 353. She won the world indoor title earlier this year. One thing about her is she just likes to run fast and even. We don't normally see her being able to switch gears, and so her best race is to take it and lead it. In the heats here, she can be a little bit looser with that because she is in such a high class. She has already run under 357 this year.
Big chance for all 3 Team USA women to go through to the semi-finals. 2 of the 3 are already through. Here's Corey McGee, who finished runner-up to Sinclair Johnson just 3 weeks ago here at the National Championships.
And what a story for Corey McGee. She did make the Olympic team last year, but she made the U.S. World Championship team in 2013 as a collegiate athlete. She struggled for a really long time, and last year and this year she's really built herself back into the athlete she believed she could be, making the Olympic team and now making her second World Championship team.
If you're watching from Mississippi, Corey's your athlete, so cheer her along. She needs to be in the top 6 in this heat or be in the next 6 fastest times to guarantee a spot tomorrow night in the semi-final of the women's 1500.
And
She receives a warm round of applause.
You know, her training method is a lot of aerobic work, and she really dove into that this year so that she'd have more strength through the rounds. She's hoping that all that extra strength work will pay off feeling good and fresh in the final.
If you're watching on the East Coast and you're wondering about what time is bedtime tonight, stay up. We got the men's 100 metres coming up. 7 heats where you'll see the Olympic champion, Marcel Jacobs of Italy. You'll see Fred Curley, who won silver in Tokyo last year. You'll see him and a whole lot more. But this is the women's 1500 metres third and final heat to determine what the semi-finals look like tomorrow night.
And as we see before, you see them off that line very, very quick, and then they kind of put on the brakes. They want to fall into position. They want to find out, the perfect position for them. We see Hall right there from Australia, and she was the 1,500-meter record holder from Australia, but she had a very, very good run at the Olympic Games. She finished 6th in the final.
Winnie Nanyondo takes the front, the Ugandan. And when you see that stripy yellow top of the Ugandan national team, takes me back to thinking about Nakai, who won the 800 meters in a really physical way at the World Championships in Doha now 3 years ago in 2019, and the two of them celebrated that World Championship for Nakai. But this is not the 800, this is the 1500, so maybe Nanyondo can do her country proud and go through to the semis by being in the top 6 at the end of this race.
And we see Sagai, she's moved on the outside. She wants to stay out of trouble. She just wants to run along as easy as possible. And we just see the first quarter at 67.17. So this is quite a bit slower than the last heat that we just saw.
Let's get you back to field. Here's Trey Hardy, Paul Swangard, fellas.
The three-ring circus continues inside the track. The Olympic champion, Katie DeJean at 14.9.
Woo, right down the middle. Man, I love track meets. This is awesome. So much action, and the Olympic champion is on to the next part. Might take one or two more, but we got a competition brewing here. Back to you, Lee.
Nice to see that expression, Trey. She was pleased with that. Well done, Katie. As this is Australia's Lyndon Hall, a two-time Olympian, takes the front of this pack, but it might be only briefly, because here comes the opposition from Gudaf Sagai.
And what Gudaf Sagai does so well is she just is a grinder. She will take it to the front and grind that pace and wear people out. And Corey McGee is smart to go here. She knows this is a real move. This is a person I need to follow. I need to put myself in a position to be in that top 6 when we come down that home stretch.
So Sagai, Winnie Nanyondo, Winnie Chebet of Kenya running third there. You see in the black and red. And look, already there's some jostling for better track position.
Look at Sagai and the control and effortlessness of her stride. And it makes me laugh because when she races, she's so focused, she almost looks angry. But if you follow her on social media, on her Instagram, she's laughing, smiling. She loves what she does. And this is good. This is stretching out now as they come in for this final lap. Everyone needs to move up and get themselves in position or protect the position that they are in here on this final stretch.
You like the look of Corey McGee? Corey's put herself in a good position with one to go as the bell rings.
Corey McGee looks really good to me. She almost looks like she's cutting her stride a little bit, like there's more there, and she's just trying to hold back and run through smart. Lyndon Hall is looking good as well, and this is stretched out. We're going to see 6 people that really have pulled away from the rest of the pack here.
Federica Del Buono of Italy was surging there, but she has now dropped off this pack as each and every one of these women at the front try to be and consolidate their position in the top 6. You get the automatic pass through to tomorrow's semi-final.
Well, Sagai is making them work for it, Lee. Her last lap was a 62, which is well under 4-minute 1,500-meter pace. So she is making everyone work for this now. She's not going to let them just jog through. And now we see those top 6 fighting, and they want to make sure they protect their position as they head down the home stretch.
Well, there's a gap too, isn't there? There's a gap as Winnie Nanyondo of Ethiopia, she might be, of Uganda, she might be in doubt. She might be in doubt because there's a late surge, and Nanyondo will lose at Corey McGee. She's going to have to fight hard, but she will go through. She'll be in that top 6, Corey McGee, as Sagai takes out that third and final heat in a 4:02.67.
Lee, for a prelim to go in 4:02 is very, very fast. This is making me get really excited about what we might see in the final. And Sagai looked so in control there. She just started dropping down the pace. It didn't look like she was running any harder, but she was running significantly faster. And she really stretched that out. 4:02 for the first round at a World Championship. Very, very fast.
And all 3 Team USA women go through. Sinclair Johnson, Ellie St. Pierre, and Corey McGee are through to the semi-final of the women's 1500. It was Sofia Ananui of Poland who made that late surge and got by Winnie Nanyondo.
You know, you never can be too comfortable in that final stretch. They want to get through as easy as possible, but this is exactly what can happen. We see her coming from the back. She's kicking, and you have to maintain those positions. You have to look around. You know, you're taught at a young age, don't look around, but in this situation, you need to look around and make sure no one's coming. We see the guy, she's like running with her head backwards, making sure no one's coming. Okay, I'm through.
cruising across the line. Ahead of Kenya's Winnie Chebet, Lyndon Hall of Australia.
And look at her foot placement. She just pops off the track. Exciting things to come from her the rest of this championship.
Katharina Trost of Germany, center of your screen there. She made a nice final run as well to confirm her position in tomorrow night's semi-finals. So women's 1500 heats are complete. Coming up short.